Hello and welcome to a guided tour of Jen Barker's ePortfolio. I'm Jennifer Barker, the author and host for your tour. This compilation of artifacts and reflections represent my learning journey over the past 2 years in the MET program. Dr. Helen Barrett, a renowned expert in the area of ePortfolios, believes that reflection is the heart and soul of this work. Although my knowledge grew and developed with each course I took, it was only through reflecting during the process of construction of my ePortfolio that I was able to come to a deeper understanding, making personal and meaningful connections between theory and pedagogy, ultimately allowing me to synthesize my pedagogical beliefs about educational technology. I have organized this ePortfolio into 4 sections. The first is the homepage, where I share my beliefs about the affordances of ePortfolios, my purpose for its creation, and a bit about my audience. My ePortfolio serves 2 purposes. Personally, it allows me to reflect on my knowledge building within the MET program, enhancing my understanding and serving as a capstone for my master's. Professionally, it will be used to demonstrate my qualification for the Teacher Qualification Service of British Columbia for completion of a master's degree. For those of you who ascribe to understanding by design principles advocated by Wiggins and McTighe and believe it is important to identify at the onset learning goals, I have intentionally placed my assessment criteria on the homepage. Additionally, if you would like to know a bit more about me, the author, feel free to click on this My Biography link. Lastly, if at any point you would like to send me feedback, feel free to return to the homepage and click on this contact link, which will allow you to send me an email. On the homepage, I also describe my overall theme. I have chosen to represent and connect my learning journey metaphorically through a children's literature book called There. Written by Marie-Louise Fitzpatrick, this story represents the profound questions a little girl ponders about her journey towards adulthood. You can hear me read aloud this story by clicking on the audio boo located beneath the image of the cover page of the book. Throughout my master's, I had many questions that paralleled those of this little girl in the story, although not necessarily in the same order as they occur in the book. You will notice that I have highlighted in green text beneath the visual images from the book each of the questions that I connected to. I have specifically placed these in close proximity to either the course, artifact, or time point in which the question surfaced for me personally. For the purpose of my ePortfolio, the word there symbolizes the completion of my master's degree. Throughout the construction of my ePortfolio, I realize I have had a dialectical journey there. As you follow along reading about my learning journey, you will notice how at times my personal and professional development align, while at other times they conflict, causing shifts in tension. I did not have a linear journey, but instead it was complex, and at times even messy. It required shifts in directions, thoughts, and perspective. There are 2 ways to navigate through this site. You may click on the navigation menu bar, which is located at the top of each page, or if you prefer to follow my journey, as it unfolded for me, I recommend clicking the Continue Going There button in the bottom right-hand corner of each page. At any point, should you wish to return to a previous page, you may do this by clicking on the Go Back button. I have titled the second section of my ePortfolio, The Journey, to represent my learning over time. The first page in this section is called The Beginning, where I began in a face-to-face cohort in language and literacy. You will notice uniformity and organization on this page and the next. I begin with the background of my thoughts at the time and then briefly describe each course, followed by my chosen artifacts, a reflection regarding their purpose, knowledge, and impact, and then a link that will open the artifact itself. I loved my first course on early literacy, despite the challenge of learning how to write an academic paper, which I represent as taming a dragon. I became fascinated with learning about what Lancashire and Noble termed new literacies. I had never before heard of phrases such as literacy, technology, and Web 1.0 and 2.0, and found myself spending countless hours online playing with programs like Google Docs, Dropbox, Evernote, and so on. I also began to subscribe to professional blogs and began building my own personal learning network. The time I spent doing self-directed learning began competing with the time needed for my coursework, which was focused more specifically on traditional literacies. As you read through this beginning page, you will notice the building tension between these 2 interests. Then in my summer course, which was part of the Recurring Questions of Technology Institute, I realized I needed to shift the direction of my learning. Surrounded by my classmates and professors who shared my enthusiasm for technology, I was inspired, engaged, motivated, and found my flow. According to psychologist Nakamura and Csikszentmihalyi's 2009 work, flow involves intense, focused concentration, merging of action and awareness, a sense of personal control or agency over the situation, and an experience that is intrinsically rewarding. This pivotal understanding resulted in my application and acceptance to the MET program. Similar to the question the little girl asked, I wondered if I too could go elsewhere. The next section of my journey represents the second year of my master's, in which all of my courses were focused on educational technology and held online. I had a steep learning curve those first few months, orienting myself to connect the online learning management system and the challenges of online learning, such as keeping up with the constantly updated discussion threads. I really appreciated Soul Days, which Fang and Patrina describe as slow, online, ubiquitous learning. Similar to the little girl in the book, I needed time to stop, pause, reflect, and smell the flowers. I began eTech 511, Foundations of Educational Technology, with a relatively naive view of technology. I saw it as a collection of tools that could only positively impact the education system. Through the seminal readings I was exposed to in class, like Papert, Breyer, Ilyich, and Heidegger, I began to question my beliefs and see the complexity of educational technology. My knowledge further grew through my final paper, which sought to explain some of the nuances, complexity, and political power inherent within educational technology. This shift or transformation in understanding continued to develop my second year in eTech 522, Ventures in Technology, as I realized the hot commodity educational technology had become for those in business. I questioned the aims and reliability of those pushing for the increase of technology in our schools. Conversely, in my next two courses, eTech 510, Designs of Technologically Supported Learning Environments, and eTech 532, Technology in the Arts and Humanities class, I returned to a feeling of positiveness about technology through a growing awareness of the affordances of technology for students and teachers. Yes, educational technology is political and powerful, and not without its limitations, but it also holds the ability to transform learning unlike ever before. As someone who has always held constructivist views of teaching and learning, technology enhances the main tenets of this learning theory. It enhances one's ability to collaborate with others throughout the world, create knowledge-building communities, increase motivation and engagement, promote active learning through meaningful real-world experiences, connect with others beyond the walls of the classroom, access information anytime and anywhere, create, apply, and transform knowledge and understanding, communicate in multimodal ways, problem solve, and critical think. This third page of my journey is called Personal Development and Growth. I have located this within my journey section as it developed parallel to my coursework. I became a blogger, developed a website, and became proficient at using many online programs and applications. I felt this was important to include this page showcasing my personal growth because it demonstrates my application of what I was learning and how I was playing with my knowledge. Feel free to click on each of the reddish-colored links to view my blogs, website, handout from Connected Ed Canada, my Twitter feed, and a math lesson I drafted for the BC Ministry of Education this spring. The third section of my ePortfolio is called There, and on the first nested page titled Significance, I discuss what it has meant to me to achieve this goal. Looking back, I will forever be grateful to the MET program, which was both an inspiration and a guiding influence. I have been transformed professionally and personally, and now feel confident articulating my educational beliefs, as you will see in the funny little video nested within this page, and a quote below that resonates with me. Chris Hedges wrote, "We bought into the idea that education is about training and success, defined monetarily rather than learning to think critically and to challenge. We should not forget that the true purpose of education is to make minds, not careers. A culture that does not grasp the vital interplay between morality and power, which mistakes management techniques for wisdom, which fails to understand that the measure of a civilization is its compassion, not its speed or ability to consume, condemns itself to death." In summary, similar to Frere and Illich, I believe educational technology has the power to transform our current educational paradigm, but it should be done with caution and a critical pedagogical lens. Although I have met my goals of getting there or completing my master's, ironically, if there represents some pinnacle point of knowledge, I do not think I will ever get there. Beyond there, I am a lifelong learner as described in the 1972 Fora Report, and will always yearn to know more, my duty as an educated citizen. I am passionately curious and don't ever see a time when I will not have questions. I have loved this learning journey, albeit for its challenges. At this time, I am taking time to pause, reflect, and celebrate, but know that at some point I will take a new journey. As the picture and quote state, I'll go there tomorrow, definitely.